Hello once again. I want to welcome you back to yet another video on this channel. I want to go first ahead and thank those who have been able to subscribe, like, and maybe even share the content as well as commenting. Thank you. You've been doing a great job. And in today's video, we're going to be looking about something new and interesting. It's called Scalar. Now, as I was browsing through my X, and I got to see some interesting posts from Anthony Leo, which was which inspired me. He's one of the people who's designing Scalar.com, which we're going to be talking about later now. So Scala, he gave in a certain demo video about Scala. If I'm trying to zoom in, this is like basically a video about Scala, what you can do with Scala and all of that, which we're going to be diving more into it as developers. Basically, I use Next.js, and I'm going to be using Next.js for this tutorial, but if you'd like me to do a tutorial under a certain framework, still you can comment down and go ahead and do that, the integration and all of that for you guys to see. So starting off, uh, Scala is if I click there, okay, so if I go to their website, which is Scalar.com, and I've linked it down into the description, they call their solves the modern open source developer experience platform for your API. So it is something more of dealing with APIs. So as you can see, the nice headline is tell us to create world-class API documentation with a built-in interactive playground which seamlessly turns to a full-featured API client. So it's an easy-to-use tool, and it really has massive things. So you can see our users range from startups to Fortune 500 and all of that. So you can see people really using it now, the Superbase, the Tailscale, the Fly.io, the Jan, the Sphere in the Las Vegas, all of that. So the Max, which is the developer Max.com, Gitbook. So it has quite a number of people who are using it right now to document their APIs. So they tell us it works with your Open AI document. So you can write and publish APIs seamlessly and manage your API documents. So you can go ahead and read more of it and all of that. But I've went ahead, since this documentation is not much familiar with, maybe for beginners friendly. I went ahead and created our own documentations. If you've been following all along on this channel, you've seen an episode where we created this using format docs, and like I said, it's where we're going to be documenting most of our things. So I went ahead and made a certain documentation, which I've linked in the description of the video. You can check it out. It says introduction, so a beginner friendly guide to Scala. So basically, the first question you're going to ask yourself, what is Scala? I went ahead and explained it in brief, where I said Scala is a modern open source platform designed to enhance the developer experience for APIs. So it's not just a claim, that we've tested it and just truly delivers. So it's not just like, maybe it's just good for APIs, but no, I've just went ahead and tested it, and it's truly delivering what it says. So with Scalar.com, which we are from seeing, you can easily build world-class API documentation. It even includes a built-in interactive playground that transforms into a fully featured API client seamlessly. So I put one of their pictures here, and a quick tip is Scala works with 8+ frameworks across all the tech stacks. It's completely headless, making it versatile for various use cases. So for beginners, the easiest way to get started is going to the Scalar.com, which we are from. And if to talk about the frameworks, as you can see somewhere here, these are all the frameworks they use: the .NET, the Nitro, the Platformic, Fast API, the Honor, Next.js, Next, Rust, Audison.js, Alicia, Express, Fastify, Go, Laravel. Lifestar, Next.js, HTML, React and Vue, and DocuSeras. So they're quite now, for now, integrate with most of these, as we're going to be seeing. But in our episode, we're going to be following along with the Next.js guide. So as you can see, by the way, on the left side hand side, there's the landing page. You see the introduction. They have quite of a good documentation. If you're good at reading documentation, simply you can understand this. So they give you all to use and all of that. But I went ahead and made it simpler without documentation. So they say one thing to get started is maybe to show you a quick demo. If this image, as you see in this image, let me try to zoom in. Oops, okay. So as you see this image, it is actually our docs have this full zoomable. So if I click onto this image, you get access to design something like this. It is basically working like if you've used with Swagger, it's called Swagger UI and all of that. But this one is more of a beautiful. Let me check if we can get a demo on their site. Yeah, let me just look for anything here, any demo. So try it out today, get started for free and all of that. Okay, no demo like that. I think. But yeah, you can go ahead and we're gonna see how it works. So I went ahead and installed and talked about properly installing. So to get started, I'm going to be using Next.js, so no additional libraries are needed, by the way. So simply open your preferred IDE terminal and run one of the following commands, depending on your package manager. So I'm going to go ahead and get an application which doesn't have Swagger, I guess. And if I come to my VS Code, I'm having this application. I'm going to go and close this. Having this application, this is an Next.js application. Basically, it's an e-commerce, so we're gonna just use it to showcase what we're trying to say. So as I talk that, let me try to go ahead and run it localhost be for it to be running already. So coming back to our documentation, the first thing we are getting is called and install the package, the Scalar package. So if I go and click on pnpm, since my application is using pnpm, and I go ahead and copy this and paste it here, and then I click enter, what it's going to do is going to install the Scalar, stroke Next.js, and API reference. It takes usually a few minutes, a couple of minutes for it to install. In a few, it's going to be completed installing. So if we come back to our installation, now let me first give a refresh. So if we come back to our installation guide here, we see they tell us setting up API documentation now. Now, once you've installed, you'll need a tool to fetch your OpenAI URL and integrate it into your application. If you work with tools like Swagger and all of that, to work with all of that, you have to have an OpenAI URL, which I'm going to show you how to get in a few. So this URL is where your API documentation will be living live. So while there are several tools available such as Swagger UI, the Honor, today I'll recommend using this called the API-Fiddle. It's a user-friendly and packed with features you love. Just to give you a reminder, Fiddle doesn't require installation. All you need is just an account. So went ahead and explained all of that here in create an account. What you need is go to visit to this page, Fiddle. You just click here. It's going to open up a new terminal. Let's go back to our page as it loads. So and sign up. It takes less than a minute. You can register with Google or GitHub, but personally, I recommend using GitHub account for a seamless integration. So what you're gonna do is if we go back to our API-Fiddle, we're gonna go and click login or sign up with Google. But I'll click GitHub since I prefer GitHub, and I'll also prefer you to use GitHub. So after you click there, it doesn't take usually long. The first thing is going to be open. It's going to bring this to be here. It's going to give you okay, let me just go ahead and delete this project. So it's going to come in a blank space. You're not going to be having any project. So you go ahead and if we go back to our documentation, I explained that. So tell us create a new project and export the URL. So after creating an account on Fiddle, you can start by creating a new project and add your schemas or models and explain your API. So once you're ready, click on the export button to generate the URL. This URL will be used in your application configuration. So for example, if I go now to my Fiddle, I'm going to go ahead and create a workspace, which is this. Now I've created this workspace, blah, blah, which I can edit and give a different name. I can say, for example, YouTube demo. Okay, I'll go ahead and, since this is a name, I'll just go ahead and call it this. I don't know why they didn't just auto generate the slide for us. Let me just paste that there. And access level, I can make it public read. You can make it anything you want. And later on, I can go ahead and save. So what I can do is I can go here and just click on the save. After saving, it's going to show me changes were successfully saved. After that, the next thing now I'm going to do is go back, click here to go back to my dashboard and just click on the open. So once you open, you're going to see something like this, which is telling you a model editor based on API blah. It's all of like this. So what you're going to need is you can start with the bookstore example. Basically, the reason why you're getting this is because you have empty models. So you can import your own models here, or you can create your first models. But I'm just going to go in, since it's a demo video about to use it. I'm going to go on with this example, the bookstore example. So if I click this here and click here and say maybe use OpenAI, it's gonna go ahead and generate for me like an API which I can use to get. You see, this is like already detailed explanations. This is the get book list. So this is something where you can go ahead and create your endpoints, your APIs, and add the statuses and all of that. You can go ahead and click here and you go and choose maybe add method, for example, post. You can select the tag, you're going to use the books. You can add now the path. For example, I can do ID demo, and you can just write a summary. For example, this is just a demo, and also you can write the description as you want. Description, and then maybe you can hit create. What it's going to do is you can add now responses. You can say maybe this gives me these responses, blah blah. You hit done. So as you can see, you get now this other module added in here. This is a demo. So with this done, the next thing now you want to do is if you come back to, for example, you've now set up your APIs, you've installed, you've talked about them here, blah blah. So you can go ahead and now they tell us after creating an account, we need to have a folder structure like this. For example, I want these public API documents to be read at a certain maybe at a certain file named dev API. It's where I want people to access the routes and to know more about the route. So I can go ahead in my application and go maybe in my app folder, and I can go anywhere and create a folder called dev API, which I have already, which is blank since I was trying to do some homework before I made the video, which is dev API, which is there. Good. So now after that folder, they tell us and use the exported URL in the file configuration. So file configuration, now we add a file called route.ts, copy the name, come here and add that file and paste it and hit enter. So after that, then I can just simply copy this. This is already given to us by them, the Scalar originally. So if you paste it here, should be something like this npm. After you've installed, remember we've installed Scalar already. So you just paste in like that. But as you can see here, we need the exported URL to be able for it to work. So now they say the next thing, create a route after installing Scala, create a folder named dev API, blah, 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 which we have done. So I think I made a duplicate of this here, which I'll go ahead and remove one of them. So after doing that, they tell us to run your application, but we need and we should go to this slash dev API. So if you currently go onto the application running and I do control L slash dev API, I run that, you're gonna see we're gonna be getting an error since we haven't gotten the URL. It's gonna compile this, but it's gonna give us an error. Like it's trying to compile this page and it's already given us an phone because we don't have this URL. So if you try to go there and check again on the deep on our application, we're gonna get something blank. Like we've got Scalar, but we've got it blank. There's no any documentations about our APIs and all of that. So to fix that, you go here on your Fiddle to get your link for these modules, what you've been creating. You go on to this file. I mean, you go onto the OpenAI here. When you're into that project, OpenAI, and then you get this link, you just copy it and you paste it here. You can put it in your MV or you can paste it here directly. But as soon as you do that, and we go and we have a look at our application now, it's going to take a few minutes, and I think now it's going to reflect with the actual data that we are having on the other side. So I don't know why has it loaded, compiled successfully. So let me try to make a hard reload. As you can see here up, okay, good. Now we have, you see, this is really beautiful. Like it's beautifully documented. Like turns the API to a nice documented format, which is really amazing. For example, the user can click on the get books. You see, now they can be able to see, oh, that maybe this kind of endpoint gives us such responses. It gives us the 200, it gives us the 400, it gives us the 404, it gives us the 500 as well. So it accords to what how you've explained more um into your models. So you can have more of it, like this is the model, it has these fields, and even it gives you the search, guys. This is really amazing. You can search, for example, for the get, and you'll be able to get these and you go straight to it. Now to show you more features of it, how fancy it is, how good it is, if you come here on API and maybe you try to add anything, for example, I'll add maybe a post request to the books, and maybe I'll do the same, and I'll just rename this to posts again, something like that, and just hit the create. We need to fill in something, I guess, an error card with the same URL, and the method already exists, same URL and method. Okay, I think this URL is already a post, so let's try to do a patch and create. We just choose one, we do done. You see, we have this post again here. If I'm trying to zoom in, we have this post again here. It has created, but surprisingly, if we go now to our API as well, you're gonna see we should have the post again here already came in, but I just guess this is my network, because by the time let me try to make it load. By the time I made this, everything was super live because I had good internet. So as you can see, we have this post again here. As you can see, we have the post again now here. So which this is means this is a really cool idea. It's a cool application. Honestly, this is a cool application. So you can be able to filter by the post, by many things actually. So you're not limited according to your APIs, the way you have it and all of that. So it's easily integrated in Next.js. You can, instead of this Fiddle, you can use tools like Swagger, and you get your Swagger and to make it look more nicer and more understandable. Like you've seen docs of super base, they have like this, because this one knows, and it gives you automatically. For example, if you click onto this, some routes they may give you already that maybe this route you can do it like this in if you click on shell, you can choose a different language. I want to use Axios, so they configure all of that for you. I want to use Go, I want to use this type of, all of this is pre-configured for you. And they have this which is called the Open API client down here. So if you go and click onto uh, this OpenAI client, what it does, it now brings it in a more, if we go here, API-Fiddle bookmark store, you can import this because now they already know that this is the collection. I don't know why my font is small. Let me try to zoom in 75, 80, 90, 100. So now it can come more into this response where you can click onto the get, and you can also test these APIs. For example, this is a books. If you're trying to send, I'll get a 404 because I don't have that API on my localhost, because now it's getting it from localhost directly and it tries to run. That's why I'm getting something like a 404, which means that page, that API I'm trying to access is not there. So you see, you can get these create books and all of that, and you try to send. If you have that API there, you get nice responses and all of that. So if you want me to make more detailed video of using this client API, because for now this is a different tool from this from the other from this one. This now is like the Open API client, which is more integratable. You can do lots of fancy stuff with this. Let me close this. With this client, you can do lots of fancy things with this client, and it's also watched live. So anything you change there, if you could go here, and maybe we could go and delete this, and can go and maybe say edit, and we name it to post again edited, and hit edit. So if we go back to our API client, you see it's already in live. For this one has more features, like it has already popped up, post again edited, and all of that. So if you want more specific video about this, you can let me know in the comment section below. I'll go ahead and make that video upon request. But otherwise, this is really a nice tool if you're planning to build APIs, or you want to document your APIs properly. This is a tool I would recommend you to go in for. You can use other tools like Swagger, but this has more features. This has a nice cool UI, that developer UI, which is really more good. Like someone can, even though someone is off, they don't know how to use any APIs, and they can just come here and change their language. For example, I want to use Java, and everything is compacted back into Java, like how to use this exact API when you're running on a Java, project. This is really cool. This is a cool idea. Look at all of these projects, guys. These people have, these languages. You can do TypeScript, you can do lots of languages. So if you love the video, please, I can request you to subscribe and hit the like button as well. You can leave your comments. It will be mostly valued. Otherwise, I want to thank you so much for watching until the end of this video. Thank you, and let's meet together next time. Bye.